Girl, you being so petty right now. We are not friends. You are the girlfriend to my boss. Like, you are the girlfriend to my boss. That is it. What is up, you guys? Welcome back to the channel. It's your girl JD here, back with another video, and we are back with another video for Selling Sunset. This is going to be season 7, and there's quite a bit to talk about, but as per usual, the drama is very much so kind of stupid. I'm just going to be honest. A lot of the drama is really stupid, and I think a lot of people could probably agree with me before I even get into what the drama even is. It's dumb. It's really dumb. It's not even real drama. I feel like a lot of the things that they end up fighting about, it's just kind of like, what? You know, like you just have that moment where you're like, okay, that's an interesting thing to fight about, but all right, you know? Let's just get into it. I'm not gonna lie, watching season 7 and where it kind of started, it did kind of look as though they maybe shot like a bunch of episodes and was like, let's just split it halfway down the middle. Let's just make this one season and then make this another season, right? Because it just did not seem like we were picking up at like a totally different point in their lives. It was just the continuation of what was going on in season 6 pretty much. So it was just kind of like, okay, let's just say it was season 6 part 2 really, because it wasn't a whole other season. I can't remember if I did a video about season 6. If I did, I'll link it, but I can't remember. I really can't. I should have looked before I did this video, but I can't remember if I did. Anyways, it doesn't matter. So let's just get into the supposed drama. We kick it off with Nicole, Emma, and Chriselle. They still have some beef, okay? It started mainly with Chriselle, but because, you know, Emma is friends with Chriselle, she just automatically had issues with Nicole because, you know, they're friends. So it really started because of Nicole having issues with Chriselle having, I guess, a portion of the commission from, I think they had like a dual listing, like the two of them were the listing agents, I think. Hopefully I have the verbiage right there. But yeah, it seems as though Nicole had issues with Chriselle getting some of the money. It just kind of spiraled from there. And then Chriselle ended up saying that Nicole was on drugs. And, you know, there was a lot of back and forth. Nicole was saying that Chriselle was using Jason when she was in a relationship with Jason, but they ended it. She was basically saying that Chriselle was using Jason to get better listings. And I'm like, I mean, it could have been happening, but at the same time, I do think Chriselle does work her butt off based on what I can see. But I mean, it could have very well happened. We don't know. You know what I mean? It just, I don't know. Bree. Let's move on to Bree. So Bree apparently slept with Michael B. Jordan. I'm not sure how this came up in conversation exactly, or who she was even having a conversation with, because a lot of these episodes, I remember listening to it, but I think I was doing something else at the time. So I don't remember who she was having a convo with. But yeah, I don't know why she needed to bring that up. It's just kind of like, okay, good for you, sis. You know, it was just really weird. I was like, I don't really know how to respond to that. Actually, I think she was having a conversation with Emma, and then Emma was like, oh my God, that's amazing, or something like that. I don't know, but it was so weird. I was like, how do you congratulate someone for sleeping with someone? I don't know. It's just so weird. So Mary finds out that she's pregnant, and obviously everyone's very excited because of the fact that she had been holding off from having another child for so long. She's always wanted to have more kids after she gave birth to her son. I think that was when she was 15. I think she said she's now in her 40s. So yeah, it's been a very long time, and obviously now that she's older, getting pregnant can be very difficult. Keeping the pregnancy can also be very difficult. So of course everyone's leaping for joy when it comes to that news when she shares it. Chelsea is also planning her 30th birthday party. Bree is not invited, which does not surprise me because in season 6 they had a very rocky start to any possible type of relationship or friendship that they could have had. So it just was not going well between the two of them, and Bree was just good on Chelsea and Chelsea was good on Bree. But this season, Chelsea has been trying to turn over a new leaf and start afresh with Bree specifically. It's been interesting. I'm gonna get into that, but Chelsea has her birthday party and Nicole is invited, and I don't don't know why Chriselle and Emma, well, actually, no, I think it was Emma first. Emma decided to walk over to Nicole at the birthday party and have a conversation about what's been going on with regards to Nicole, because Chelsea decided to take it upon herself to tell Emma, I'm not gonna lie, I love me some Chelsea, but she could be an ish starter, okay? I know she could stir the pot sometimes. Either way, Nicole stands on what she said, because she had said to Chelsea that she thinks that Emma is a social climber. And Emma heard this and decided to walk over to Nicole and was like, listen, you need to take that back, because you know good and darn well I worked for everything I had and I'm not a social climber. But Nicole doesn't budge. She's just like, listen, I said what I said. That's what I like about Nicole, is that she's not gonna back down from what she said. If she said it, she's gonna tell you again, yes, I said it. All right. She's not gonna backpedal. She's not gonna be like, oh, I didn't say that. Like, I don't know. No, I said it. Now, you may not like it, but I said what I said. Right? And I think that's one thing that I like about her and Chelsea. But the thing is, you can't really say things without merit. You can't really say things without any type of backing. You know, it's not really an opinion anymore. It's more so you just trying to make her look bad, right? I think Nicole is cool in that aspect, is that she's not going to backpedal. She said what she said, and that's it, right? But at the same time, it's just kind of like you're kind of starting some ish for no reason, you know? It was kind of dying down just a little bit, but now you're making things kind of go haywire yet again. So Nicole isn't known for being emotional, but she does kind of walk away, storms off, and apparently off camera she ends up crying. But Jason, I think, and some of the other people from the O group had also seen her crying in her car somewhere. It's very interesting already. Now, Amanza, she stirs up the pot, okay? I don't know if it was on purpose or what, but she definitely stirred up the pot when it came to Chelsea and Bree. So before Chelsea got to even apologize to Bree, Amanza decided to take it upon herself to talk to Bree while looking at a listing. She decides to pull Bree aside and say, hey, I think Chelsea really wants to start afresh with you and apologize. And also, I do want to mention that Chelsea feels as though she is the messenger for a few other people in the company, in the O group. And I'm like, okay, why would you say that, Amanza? Because now Bree is going to ask you, well, a messenger for who? Who are we talking about? Are there people talking behind my back that are trying to pretend to be nice to me, pretending to be my friend, but you're actually talking crap about my lifestyle and how I'm a single mom for Nick Cannon? Like, what? Who are we talking about? So Bree starts listing off names, and then she gets to Emma and Chriselle, and Amanza's just like, wouldn't you see that as you're trying to start some ish? As the viewer, I'm looking at Amanza like, why would you do that? Just say that Chelsea wants to apologize. Actually, I don't even think she should have said that, because now it kind of ruins the moment between Bree and Chelsea, because now Bree is looking at it like, okay, I mean, what the heck she need to apologize to me for? Like, I don't want to accept this apology, because now she's hardening her heart and she doesn't really want to talk to Chelsea, right? Through this entire season, I just think Amanza should have just shut the hell up. I'm not gonna lie, she was getting on my nerves. Honestly, she was getting on my nerves. But of course, there were a lot of other people kind of backing her. Like Mary, for example, she's just like, you're the peacemaker, and you know, you're always trying to make sure that everybody's good and they could work with each other and they're nice to each other, and you never really start any ish on purpose. And it's just like, okay. Heather, we didn't really see much of her this season. We saw her in the very first episode with Bree. She was very pregnant, about to burst. She gave birth. I think this was maybe like a week into probably shooting the rest of these episodes. She gave birth, and I think it was to a son. Finally, she could stop using her pregnancy as a means to get out of all these arguments and conversations, because I swear, season 6, she was getting on my last ever living nerve. Oh my god. I'm just like, Heather, how you gonna start a bunch of crap, and then when people come to ask you why you started the crap, look around and be like, I don't know what you're talking about. Anyways, child, it was just like, I'm happy that you gave birth to this child so that you could stop using him as an excuse, because, oh my god. So Jason and Brett are celebrating 10 years of the Oppenheim group, and they have some people over from the OC office and also from the LA office. And when I say some, I really mean some, because not everybody was there. So the drama got even dumber. I don't think Chriselle was there. Was she there? I don't think so. No. Yeah, she wasn't there because everybody else came to bat on her behalf when it came to Nicole. And then, of course, the OC people, I kind of thought really quickly about doing a Selling Sunset OC video, but their drama was even worse. Like, honestly, in a nutshell, they're selling houses. You know, they're having issues. One of them gets accused of sleeping with somebody who was married at the time, but now they're divorced or getting a divorce. And now one of the women who were accusing this woman of trying to sleep with someone who was married is now seeing that same man. And it's just kind of like, well, isn't this hypocritical? So yeah, that's pretty much like the entire thing in a nutshell. I'm not going to mention any names because what's the point? So Chelsea pulls Brie aside to apologize to her, but Brie doesn't see herself getting past someone having such a strong opinion about her situation. She calls it her situation. But I mean, girl, it is not that deep. Like, honestly, y'all could be cordial. Like, you don't have to keep rolling your eyes every time she enters the office. It just seems kind of stupid. Now, Chelsea confronts Amanza and tells her to pretty much stay out of everyone's business. Because, let's be honest, Amanza was trying to start smish. I don't care if it was on purpose, not on purpose. She was starting smish, okay? I said what I said. Now that came up because Brie had told Chelsea that Amanza had said to her that Chelsea felt as though she was the messenger for other people, and then that implicated Emma and Chriselle especially. So of course Chelsea's just like, Amanza, just shut the hell up. Like, honestly, shut the hell up. That's how I felt too. I was like, girl, you're making it worse. So Chriselle is having some health issues, it looks like, which she says could be kind of making her snappy towards people because she had this like orange size cyst on her ovary, so she had to get that removed. Thankfully that surgery went well. Looks as though kind of shortly after that she also got married to her partner G. They kind of eloped in Vegas. We find out close to the end, but she doesn't reveal that to anybody just yet. It looks as though her life after the surgery is going well, but before that she ended up having a conversation with Mary Lou, or Marie Lou, I don't know how to pronounce her first name, but either way, Jason's new girlfriend after Chriselle. Mary Lou apparently is having some issues with Chriselle, saying that Chriselle is treating her a certain way when it's just them, and then differently when she's with Jason, like when Jason's present. And I'm just like, girl, what? Literally, Selling Sunset had to put in footage of scenes, like clips from when they would be in each other's presence, and Chriselle would treat her the same way regardless. She would hug her, say hi to her, compliment her. The conversation got really stupid. Like, that was probably one of the dumbest conversations I've seen on Selling Sunset ever. The fact that Chriselle sat there for as long as she did, good on you, honey. Good on you, because I would have got up after the first dumb thing that came out of that girl's mouth. She was mad because Chriselle was giving her the same compliment over and over again, talking about, oh, she didn't follow her on Instagram. I'm like, girl, you being so petty right now. We are not friends. You are the girlfriend to my boss. Like, you are the girlfriend to my boss. That is it. All I have to do is be cordial to you. Why we gotta be friends? It's weird. Why would I try to be friends, number one, with my ex-boyfriend's girlfriend? Why would I give other people that I work with more ammo to use against me? Because they already think that Jason has just been giving me all these listings because we were dating. And then when I try to be friends with you, his girlfriend, his new girlfriend, I'm looking as though I'm trying to suck up and kiss booty so that he could give me more listings. You know, it's so many things that you have to think about. It's like, why would she want to be friends with you? It's weird. It was just a really stupid conversation. Chriselle walked away and I don't blame her. The fact that she even called Jason mid-conversation, it was so awkward, especially for Jason. He's like, do I have to be on this call right now?
Do I have to be on this call?
This is so ridiculous.
I have work to do. I have money to make. You know, like, this is serving no purpose. Chelsea has been doing really well, it seems. Her numbers have been really good, according to Jason. So he decides to give her a $10 million listing. And Brie kind of feels away because Jason, in front of everybody, was like, you kind of had a slow start, but, you know, I'm going to give you this $5 million listing. And she feels like he kind of slighted her a little bit by saying that. And then also the fact that he gave her just a $5 $5 million listing, she feels as though she should be getting a $10 million listing like Chelsea. She just kept mentioning the fact that I was bringing in these clients that were looking for these, $50 million houses. And now Jason's trying to make it seem like I'm just the weakest link. And I'm just like, I mean, you kind of are. You sold all of these crazy houses and you were with another brokerage. You weren't with the O Group. So what is he supposed to do with that? You made other people money. You didn't make him money. So Bree has a conversation with Jason about the fact that, the $5 million listing, it was kind of like a spit in the face a little bit. And she brings up the fact that she came to work 6 weeks postpartum, and also that Jason doesn't really understand because he's not a parent. So he doesn't understand the sacrifice that she's been making to come to work. And I'm just like, Bree, do you want people to feel sorry for you, or do you want to work your butt off and earn their respect and actually earn what it is that you're getting? It just seemed like she was having a little bit of a pity party there. I don't think Jason needs to understand anything. He just needs to see your numbers go up. Like, that's about it. That's how a job works. After this, everybody goes to Cabo. Chriselle and Emma, they don't even want to be with everyone else. They grab a jet and they also have a whole different Airbnb when they land. So it's hella awkward for Amanza and Chelsea because, of course, they're staying with Jason and everybody else. But yeah, Emma and Chriselle just like, yeah, we don't want that negative energy around us. Bree and Chelsea might have kind of figured out their ish for like a couple minutes. And when I say a couple minutes, I really mean a couple minutes, like just a couple of days before things go haywire. So Bree and all the rest of the other women and everybody else in the O Group, they go to see a listing in Cabo. Cassandra comes in. We don't know Cassandra. She's not a part of the cast, but she is a up and coming real estate agent, a part of another agency. And it looks as though Bree gets a little frazzled when she comes around because Cassandra's just like, oh yeah, hey Bree, how you doing? That type of stuff. And I think she was with Chriselle at the time. Yeah, I think she was talking to Chriselle. So Chriselle is just like, oh, how do you guys know each other? I'm just curious. And Cassandra's just like, oh, we were bottle girls. We did bottle service in a club back in the day. And also she used to have a fitness app and I was doing some promotion for her. And Brie is just looking at her like, who in the hell are you? Like, are you my stalker? Like, that's what she kind of references Cassandra as the entire rest of the show, is her stalker. I'm like, I mean, I don't think this girl would make all of this up, Brie. I feel like you're just kind of being an a-hole, but we're just gonna move on. So after she pretends to not know Cassandra, Cassandra has a conversation with Chelsea. They hit it off. They get each other's numbers. They eventually start hanging out with each other. Okay, and that comes back up. It comes back up. So the O Group decides to have one last dinner in Cabo before everybody left. It does not go well. It's mainly because Chriselle and Emma decide to not even show up. And it was mainly, I think, because Chriselle has issues, obviously, with Mary Lou. She had that conversation with her, and it just didn't go anywhere. It served no purpose. So it was just kind of awkward between them. So this is shortly after Mary's miscarriage. Unfortunately, she did miscarry the baby because she decided to show up. So Amanza feels as though if Mary and her husband could be there, regardless of all the crazy stuff that they've been going through the last couple weeks, that Chriselle should be able to put her drama aside with Mary Lou and Nicole and just show up to the dang dinner. But yeah, they don't show up, and Amanza decides to send Chriselle a video of her basically calling Chriselle out. Okay, basically like, why are you not here? Unless you have a severed leg or limb, you should be at this dinner. It did kind of make Chriselle look really bad, and you're supposed to be her friend. You know what I mean? It's just kind of like, y'all could have had this conversation later. But I think Chelsea, she was kind of pushing her to kind of do it a little bit, because Chelsea was like, okay, just have the same energy, you know, calling Chriselle out when you actually see her in person and she's around other people. Like, make sure you have that same energy. And I'm like, yeah, I do agree, because Amanza is definitely a flip-flopper. Other people in the group, they definitely agree that Amanza is most definitely a flip-flopper, okay? She is a pancake. Like, honestly, just doing this. So Amanza and Chriselle end up having some tension, and she, I think, had hired Amanza, or I think she had introduced Amanza to G so that she could design for G, who is Chriselle's partner. Amanza was doing design work, but now Chriselle's just like, okay, if we're gonna have a weird relationship, you shouldn't even be working with my partner. We're not gonna do this job. I'll compensate you for all the work you did now, but you don't need to be working with her. So it was very awkward, but nonetheless, I do think they end up having a little meetup or rendezvous at the O Group's opening. They were opening a new office, which I think is absolutely crazy that you're opening a new and bigger office in the midst of all this financial chaos, but okay. They're trying to move to another office now. Amanza and Chriselle finally meet up and they work through or talk through some of their issues. It seems as though they kind of did, but I do think it's still kind of going to be awkward. And it was also awkward when Mary Lou decided to walk over to Chriselle and give her a hug. Just kind of like, okay, you know? All right, y'all, had to switch to my phone real quick because the camera, it died. But either way, the biggest thing that happened while the dinner was going on, because it's just like a few more things that I want to talk about. Okay, so Bree and Emma are talking, and then Chelsea walks over with Cassandra. Cassandra, like I already mentioned, Bree is pretending to not know, okay? Obviously, Bree probably knows exactly who this girl is, but is trying to not acknowledge her. I don't know why. I don't know what dirt Cassandra have on Bree, but Bree be acting like, you know, stay away from me. I think Cassandra definitely knows some things that Bree does not want exposed, because I'm like, girl, why are you acting like that? If anything, if she has information, I would have pretended like I know her. And also, even beyond that, I would have tried to kind of like befriend her a little bit. I know that sounds kind of fake, but at the same time, if she got like serious dirt on you, girl, I would like to have control. You know, I would want to have control over that, because I'm just like, I don't know what you might be trying to do. So either way, Cassandra walks over with Chelsea. Emma and Bree are sitting down talking to each other, and Bree's just like, Chelsea, girl, what are you trying to do? Throughout this entire time, from when Chelsea had met up with Cassandra in Cabo and Bree saw that, she was like, yeah, clearly Chelsea is trying to do something, which I think is kind of like bold to say, because it's just kind of like, I don't really know if she necessarily was your friend like that to begin with, but at the same time, I think that it's kind of what's the word? She kind of comes across as though the whole world revolves around her, because she thinks like Chelsea's out to get her, that her and Cassandra are out to get her, and that Chelsea's trying to get some minions, so to speak, so that she could have people kind of hate on Bree with her. And I'm like, girl, I don't really think Chelsea cares about you or thinks about you that much to do all that, but okay. But at the same time, Chelsea has been known occasionally to kind of stir up the pot here and there, so it wouldn't be that far off. But at the same time, I'm just kind of like, I mean, Bree, why care? So Chelsea is trying to hash out whatever craziness is going on between Cassandra and Bree. And Cassandra, she's just like, you don't really have to be such a mean person all the dang time. Like, you could have just be cordial with me. We don't have to be friends. That's pretty much all she was saying. And Bree's just like, no, I'm not gonna pretend to be like cool with you. We not cool. Like, I'm not gonna pretend to be someone that I'm not. And she has this conversation continuing on with Chelsea, because Cassandra walks up. Chelsea is just trying to get Bree to understand, like, you could just be nice to someone. You don't have to be like, oh my God, let's go get drinks. You know what I mean? Like, you don't have to do all that. And I even saw that on a TikTok, that portion when Bree's just like, I'm not that type of person. Why would you want me to be someone that I'm not? What if I told you that you had to be someone that you weren't?
I am not a friendly. I've never been that way. I am not someone that's like, oh my God, it's so nice to meet you. Hi, let's go for drinks. I'm not that way. And I don't need to be that way. I'm not going to be forced to be a certain person because everyone else is that way. That's up. What if I ask you to not be who you are?
And it's just kind of like, girl, what are you talking about? There's a certain level of decorum and respect that you could have for someone and not be friends with them. You don't have to go out for drinks. You don't have to go out dancing. You know what I mean? It's just kind of like, girl, what are you talking about? You could still be like, oh, hey, hi, nice to meet you, nice to see you. You don't have to be the a-hole all the time. You know what I mean? Like, that's just kind of how I felt when it came to Bree. And a lot of people, it seems, on TikTok were just kind of agreeing with her behavior. And it's just like, oh my God, that is me. I feel like people try so hard to push me to be that extrovert. And I'm just like, girl, what does this have to do with you being an introvert or extrovert? You are just being a mean-spirited individual. In my opinion, I don't think that had anything to do with you being introverted or extroverted. I think you're just a mean person. It just came across as really like, you are trying too hard to be the mean girl. You are trying too hard to be Regina George. Like, it was too much. So yeah, I think that's all Chelsea was trying to get her to understand. And of course, Bree did not take it that way. She walks off and she's just like, F this, F her, F this company, F everything. And I'm just like, girl, calm down. Like, please calm down. Before this, she had a conversation with Jason and she was just like, yeah, I feel like I might have to end up really contemplating if I want to stay with the O group, because apparently Jason and Brett were upping the amount or percentage that they were taking from every sale all the agents were making, and Bree didn't like the fact that it was going from a 90-10 split to a 80-20, which, don't get me wrong, is a very big jump, but Jason does kind of justify it a little bit, but Bree didn't feel as though it was justified. So it's very interesting. At the same time, I'm trying to figure out where Bree is gonna go, or if she is going to leave, where she's gonna go. I honestly could watch the show without Bree, because I do feel as though, even though she kind of brought something interesting to the show, that she was just kind of a little too guarded for me, and a little too, not dramatic, but it just felt like she was just mean for no freaking reason. It just it was like, whoa, chill. Like, she just came in guns blazing in season 6, and it was like, girl, calm the hell down. Like, not everybody has stuff out for you, you know what I mean? Like, just chill. So that's kind of how I feel about Bree. Now, this season has been a little bit more interesting than others, but at the same time, their drama is really dumb. It really is, especially with Bree's drama. I'm like, girl, I feel like you're trying to concoct drama because it's just not naturally occurring for you. You just feel as though you have to make it. But y'all, let me know your thoughts on this one down in the comments. I do feel like Bree, don't get me wrong, I do like the fact that she kind of sticks with her guns, but at the same time, I feel like you can talk to people without being like disrespectful or mean or rude. You know what I mean? Like, that's the part that just kind of irked me. It's just like, girl, calm down. Like, Cassandra is just talking to you, but you clearly dislike her so darn much that you gotta be rude. So y'all can of course disagree with me, but those feelings aren't changing. I feel like she was just being a straight douchebag. Like, I'm sorry. But let me know your thoughts down in the comments. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.